Hey everyone, it's Tiara from Shop Like Me. Today's video is a video I've been promising for like a year now, and so many things have happened in this past year. It's been crazy. I've done tons of other videos, but I also keep taking hiatuses. I did just have a baby 5 weeks ago, so I have a newborn at home. So this video was a little challenging for me to get done. I had to kind of stop and do nursing and stuff like that, and I could hear her crying and stuff like that, so I would get a little bit thrown off. So hopefully you can follow along, but it's a million times better than last video, because the last video you could not see what I was doing. So this one, I guarantee you can see it. I'm trying to go through step by step so you can catch everything, but today's video is making those baseball hat boxes, and you will see step by step, and this is my easy method. It's much easier than videos I've seen on YouTube at least a year ago when I was first looking. Now I just know how to make them. But I'm gonna show you step by step how I made these last year. And this is one from last year, so it's dusty. But it still looks good. This is one of the 3 I made last year in the video. So I will get to it. I will show you how I did it. We'll go through step by step. I did make a couple mistakes, but I went ahead and left them in there. I did not cut them out. That way, you know, I'm human, you're human, we make mistakes, but we pivot, we fix them. It's not that big of a deal, and I'll show you how to fix those mistakes. So I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if you want a video on how to make these stickers, how to make these hat box stickers, I have a video on my channel for that, and I will also link that down below, and I will link it in this video as well, so you know how to make these stickers, because I did not include that portion in this video. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, we're starting from the very beginning. This is the file. I have a link to the file in the description box. I also have a link to another file in the description box, which is cheaper and it is quicker, but it will be smaller. I wasn't sure how to make it big, but this is the file that you're gonna get. It's actually not gonna be this size. This right now is already formatted, but I'm gonna show you how to format it real quick. So if you want it big like mine, that way you can fit a shirt in it or candy or anything like that. The biggest that we can go for a 12 by 12 mat is a little under 12 inches, so probably about 11.5 inches. So we want to take the base of the hat and we're going to resize that, but we want to make sure when we're resizing, it's all grouped. That way we don't miss the sizes or mess up the sizes of everything else. So again, I took that base of the hat, that was the biggest part, and I made that about 11.5 inches tall, but I made sure everything was grouped together and sized it. So now we're gonna go ahead and select a 12 by 12 inch mat, and then this is where we're just gonna start adjusting. So right now it has 8 different mats that we'd use, but really I like to rearrange stuff and save paper or save products. But if you wanna just cut it like this, go ahead and just cut it like this. It doesn't have to be this complicated. You can skip all this that I'm doing. It's just me being real extra. So I'm just gonna resize them, reposition them, so I'm using less pages, at least as much as possible. So I'm just fast forwarding through this because I'm doing it, taking way too long to do it. So this is all about just how OCD you are, or whether or not you want to do it. But you can kind of see how you just rotate it, move it around, see how it fits. Sometimes you do some weird wonky angles and more things will fit than if you try to do them straight. So you'll see that here. Kind of just think outside of the box. And as long as you don't see the yellow means it's overlapping and it's going to cut overlapping. As long as you don't see that yellow, you are good. Everything is great and there is enough space, even if it doesn't look like it. And here's my last little adjustments that I'm doing. And as you can see, I have saved 2 pages. I have 2 blank pages now. This is the cardstock I used. I got it from Walmart. I linked down below in the description box. It is a 12 by 12 inch textured cardstock. Now the only thing is when it's cut, the inside of the cardstock is white. So the little score lines are going to show a little bit of white of the inside of the cardstock. So apparently there's cardstock that's colored on the inside too. I don't know where to buy that. I don't know where it's at. I was just trying to do this project, and you know, guys don't really care, and it still looks good. It just depends on how particular you want to be. But I just used this cardstock. It was not too expensive. It's like $5 or $6 for this package of it. So it worked for me. But again, like I said, this is at Walmart, and description box has the link to it. Normally I do all one color hat, but for this video I decided to do an alternating color hat. So I'm gonna do black and then red. I haven't done this before, so I'm kind of just winging it. So here I'm just taking all the pages out that I need, those 6 pages. So 5 of them were black and 1 was red. I just paid attention to the last page is gonna be the red page, and the rest is gonna be the black. So right now I'm just prepping my pages. So I have bought additional mats. So here are the additional mats that I have purchased. Link is also down in the description box. So that way I'm gonna prep 3 or 4 different mats. I'm gonna use the light and the standard grip ones for this. And I'm gonna prep 3 or 4 at a time so I can go through these mats as quick as possible without having to wait to get it off of each mat to do the next one. So it makes the project go just a little bit quicker. Time to load it up in the Cricut, and we push the load button, which is the little arrow button. I'm gonna adjust the camera here and there to show you stuff, but here you set it on cardstock. I did cardstock plus. I think cardstock would have worked good. It did completely cut through, so then it left just the actual cuts on the mat, and I could pull off the excess. But you know, you could do a little less cut, and maybe it'll all come off together, and then you can kind of perforate it. But it's all your preference. So cardstock or cardstock plus, just make sure you have it on the right setting. And here I'm going into the app. I decided to put the little piece that's gonna be on the top of the hat to make that red, so I moved that around. And now we're just gonna start the cut. So we have 1 of 6 mats you see here. You see it's on Cardstock Plus. The fine point blade is loaded. Press the Cricut button to start the cuts. And here we go. So I'm gonna have this all fast forwarded so you don't have to watch it, but I did not wanna skip a step. So I'm gonna let you see everything, and I'm just gonna speed this up. So I didn't even catch this, but what the heck? Obviously something was wrong with my stuff. What did I do? I'm gonna go back and fix that after all of this is done cutting. That way I don't forget which page is the red page. And then I'll just go back and correct this one page that is cut incorrectly. But I completely ruined that page. Mistakes happen. It really wasn't that big a deal. I just load my next mat, take that all off, throw it away, and then reload that one to do back at the end. So like I said before, the red page was my last page, so I knew where I was at. So I know I need to redo that mat number 3. I see what was wrong. I just move it over so it's not yellow. I must have accidentally set it like that and forgot to move it back. And then we're just gonna cut it again. So load it back up, that last page. We're only gonna cut mat 3, so we can ignore anything else. So we just start from the mat 3 and then click the next button, and that lets us do just that one page versus doing all of them over again. So we're gonna recut that, and oh, that looks so much better. And then once this is done, you know, all the pieces I've been taking out while I've been going along, you can see them laying there. And we're gonna start assembling them as quickly as possible. So here you can see everything. This is the glue that I use. It is Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue. You can use whatever glue you want. If you want a glue stick, your preference of glue, some clear glue, it does not matter. I just did this quick dry. I had it here at home and I preferred the quick dry over the regular one because this stuff likes to move around. So quick dry helps it dry quicker. So you just got to hold it together for a few seconds so you can move on. But I stacked all of the pieces together like this, and so I'm just gonna take these base of the hat pieces. One side is textured, the other side is smooth. So we wanna make sure that the textured side is staying out where it can be seen. So at the bottom and at the top, and then the middle piece doesn't matter. But pretty much we're just going to layer these 3 pieces. And as you can see here, it's about 12 inches big. You see on my mat, this was the basis for me sizing the whole file, was based off of this piece here. So that is the biggest you can get that it will actually cut with that mat and that paper. So we're just going to glue these 3 together and make a really thick cardboard that will sustain the whole hat. So we're just going to glue them all together. So the bottom, I have the texture face down, and I'm going to put the glue on the smooth side, and then I'll put the middle piece on there, which doesn't matter which way that one is. And then the top piece, I'll make sure that the textured side is showing at the top. So again, glue will be on the smooth side. And we're just gonna make a sandwich of these 3. And I just put glue all over the place. But like I said, you can use whatever kind of glue you want. One that won't leave the little lumps. It's completely up to you. One that's clear so you don't see any glue on the outside. If you're missing some glue on the edges, just go back and re-glue around the edge and get it right to the edge if you can. And you see how I'm just pushing my fingers on the edges of the paper, and it lines it up and gets it completely even, and then smoothing it out with my hand. And then I'm going to touch it up right on the edge a little bit. I mean, it was really close to the edge, but it wasn't quite sticking, so I'm just adding just a tiny bit more. So really, I'm just using this cardstock to kind of put some weight on it to help set it together. It's good if you glue stuff and then let it sit and dry and then glue the next thing. And like I said, we're gonna put this last one on top. So again, the glue on the smooth side, and we're gonna finish off this set of 3. Just like before, I'm gonna line it up, use my fingers to feel and push it completely equal, and then smooth it out with my hands. And as you can see how thick it is, you can see how sturdy that is now. And I'm just gonna move these over out of my way as I move on to the next piece. So I'm just folding over those perforated edges or scored lines, whichever you set up on yours. And I'm gonna separate them out, and I'm gonna connect them by 2s. And what you're gonna do, instead of trying to connect them how I just had them held, is you're going to fold them over and connect them flat. And it makes it so much easier. So connect them like this, like nice and flat. And I'm just showing you how they go together. So put your glue on there. And sorry, I had to shake my glue quite a bit in this video. But put your glue on there and then connect them flat and then hold them. So much easier than trying to hold it into its shape and connect them, because it has an angle to it. So I'm gonna show you that angle. So if you try to connect it like that, you have to sit here and rotate it and roll it, and then hope the top piece doesn't come loose while you're gluing the bottom piece, because it has a curve to it. So if you do it flat, it automatically has the curve, and they automatically stay together, and it's nice and quick and easy. And that's what makes my method so much easier than everybody else's, because everybody else is trying to connect it in the shape that it's gonna be in, and working harder versus smarter. So like I said, I like to start by connecting everything in twos, and then I like to let those dry. But because I have the newborn and I can hear her starting to get fussy and starting to cry, that means I need to go and I need to feed her. So I'm going to go ahead and just connect these while it's still wet, and that gives me a little bit of trouble while the other glue is still wet. So it's better if you can just let it dry for about 5-10 minutes in between each section. This quick dry, I guess, 5 minutes is probably more than enough time with this quick dry. But because I'm rushing, I'm going to go ahead and glue it. It does make it not for a perfect thing, and I'm kind of fighting with it a little bit because it's coming loose. You can see it coming loose on the other side, which I normally wouldn't do that if I just let it dry. But when you're rushing and everything's still wet and gluing, yeah, you're going to fight with yourself. So just, take that couple extra 1 minute or 2 minutes and let it sit there and dry in these sections, and then combine them, or do that piece and then go back over to the triangle pieces and do those, and then just back and forth. So I did put it to the side to let those kind of dry a little bit before I connected the final piece, because I did not want to be messing with it, and I definitely didn't want this to appear harder than it actually is. So now I'm moving on to this, and I'm just folding them all. I actually suggest probably don't fold them all like I just did. I think it actually will be easier if you don't. You can fold them one by one, but push them down so they're as flat as possible so you can stick them together as flat pieces again. Because like I said, those curves, you will be fighting with all those little tabs if you sit there and connect them individually, which is the first time I put them together. That's what I did. I sat there and connected them. It was great. It came out great, but I was fighting with it. So when I discovered this method, just putting them together flat and the curves just go with each other, oh my gosh, such a game changer. So flat and just hold them down. Just hold them down. It's a million times easier. And then just kind of hold them for a few seconds, let that glue take and let that glue kind of sit and stick, and then you see it's all together. It looks perfect. So again, I'm going to do this by 2 sections. And I actually do mess up here too because I am rushing. I did not line these up correctly. And it really doesn't matter if you're doing all one color, but because I was alternating colors, I did put the color on the wrong side of one of these sets because I put it on the same side of each one. So that would have put 2 reds next to each other. So I go back and I had to fix that. And so I don't cut that out. So you can see, like I said, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I'm rushing. This is the first time I've actually done alternating colors while I'm making a video. It was bound to happen. But yeah, pretty much attach them like that. And because I folded them all together, it wasn't like flat. So try to get those little tabs as flat as possible before you connect them so they're not bouncing back up on the other side. So yeah, get them flat and then push them together. So I promise you it's not as hard as that just looked. It's because I didn't prep what I needed to do first. So try to get your little teeth flattened in as much as possible, like this. Just like this. Okay, so that's the good example. That second one was not a good example. This third one is. And then just put a little dab of glue on each little tooth. Or like I said, you can use a glue stick or whatever glue you want to use. Hey, if you want to tape it, you could tape it from the inside. And then you lay those up together flat. So easy, so quick, so easy. Save you blood, sweat, and tears. Because trust me, the other way is tedious and it's exhausting, and that's why people say in the videos it's hard. So now I'm gonna just connect this last piece so I have this done. By this time my baby is like full-blown crying and I gotta go, but I wanted to get this part on so you guys can see it before I So now you have a hexagon, and I'm going to fold those tabs over because that is what we're going to connect to the base of the hat. So I'm going to go ahead and get that base out. That should be nice and dry now. It's been sitting there under that weight. And you're just lining it up. And so I just try to find which side has the least amount of glue on the outside since I was rushing and using excess glue. And I'm just going to add glue to the base, the little flap there. Put glue on all of those, and I'm going to line it up with the brim and base of the hat and glue that down. Again, like everything else, use your fingers, line it up with the edge, use your fingers, feel, touch, push it into place of where it should go. And you should get there. So use those little corners that stick out, and that's a really good indicator of where it should be, is those side corners where I'm at right now, and the other side, and just line it up around the edge, put a little pressure. And then this is the inside. So again, make sure the texture is on the upright, and you were putting the glue on the smooth side. So just pretty much glue all over, and then we're gonna stick it in there. It looks like it won't fit because it's wider, but at the base of that, it will fit in there. So as you can see, I'm really rushing, but yeah, shove it in there, line it up, push it down, and it fits. And this is just that extra little detail that's going to go here. You're pretty much just going to line it up with that hexagon, put the glue on there. Again, make sure that textured side is up, so you're putting the glue on the smooth side, and then we're just going to attach that there. And try to get glue not on the lines or whatever so it doesn't seep out, and then try not to get too much glue. And you're just going to attach that on there. And my video cut off when I was doing it, so you can see how it's glued on there now. So I was going to attach the hat pieces, and this is where I saw that I had the colors alternating wrong that I mentioned before. So I'm just ripping them off, and I'm going to do that one again. I like to start with the back of the hat, which has that little cutout there. That's the back of the hat. So that way I know I was alternating in the right place where I wanted to. So I'm gonna put that one that I messed up onto here and make a 3-piece one. And pretty much pivot and fix what I did before. So same method as before. You have a little bit of leeway where you can kind of push them together, make them flat. So that's great, because when you get towards the end and it's actually in shape is when it gets trickier. It gets a little bit harder because you cannot lay them flat like that. Some people like to actually start with the top of the hat part and then start with those little tabs and connect them that way. I don't know, to each their own. Play around, try it, see what works best for you, because everybody's different and what works best for them. But so I would just play with it. So I'm going to connect these 2 pieces together to each other now that I have the colors going the right way. But like I said, if it's all one color, it doesn't matter. Just connect them all. As much as you can do them flat, the better. The easier, I'll say. Not the better, but the easier. So this is another 3-piece one again, and then I'm going to connect these 2 3-pieces together, which is all the pieces, for 6 pieces. And then that's when it gets a little bit tricky. And some reason I was having quite a bit of trouble today, which was abnormal because I had not really had that much trouble before. But I think it's because I had messed up and ripped that off, and so they were a little thin and flimsy. So of course I left those for the last, and that was probably a mistake because I needed that stiffer paper to get it to cooperate a little bit better. So I would have done it a little opposite than what I did. But like I said, you learn when you do it. So I'm going to connect those together now. And if you need to, go ahead and push and secure from the opposite side, but a lot of times that will make it kind of move out of place on that side. So you just got to be careful. Again, that's why I use this quick glue, because the quicker it dries, the better. And so here's where I had a lot of issues regluing this, because I had little flimsy pieces now, but it still worked and it still looked good. So I really can't complain. I just had to fight with it a lot more than I wanted to. But this is how the other YouTube videos, this is how people connect them. They connect them like that, and it is a lot of work. And I cut a lot of it out so you can see, but you can see how it just moves. It just slides and moves from being at the angle. So you can see how laying them flat is just like a million times better. But I'm bearing you having to watch me fight with that piece for the longest. So now I'm going to attach the top of the hat, the bottom part of the hat there, which some people like to start with that. And I'm just going to put that right on top there. And I pushed from the other side and it kind of slid out of place, so I put it back in place. So just check things to see if they slide out of place, because it is glue and paper. So this is the top to the hat. You can see the alternating colors. You can see the little holes. You could put little fake stitching around those holes if you want. You can put stickers like you want. So I'm putting the hat sticker on there. I do have a video on how to make these stickers, so you can check the description box for that, or a link up above to see the video on how to make the hat stickers. It's step by step. And then here is a sticker. These are just stickers I had printed out already. They were actually like messed up stickers. I don't actually want to attach that sticker, so I just put some tape on there just so you can see finished product. This is the end. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. And you know, whoever you give this gift to, they're gonna absolutely love it. You can see how big it is. It's as big as my hand. So I did fit like a t-shirt and some candy inside these when I gave them as gifts last year. So good luck to you. I know you got this. Go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know how you do. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.